I'm going to show you how to budget your money. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to do so. Especially in this playlist, we're going to show you how your personal triangle of life will work to bring reality to your dreams. If you're new here, I am Thomas J. Beleza, and welcome to our BBR Productions channel. If you want to learn the process to succeed in the entertainment industry, then hit the subscribe button.
Hello.
And remember, tap that bell icon to get the latest videos on bringing reality to your dreams. There are essential expenses to life. The cost of living from state to state will vary. A living affords us a means of survival, not a lifestyle. We at BBR Productions define a living as affording an average monthly overhead. A lifestyle is living, your wants over your needs. We all have needs to survive. Every desire to purchase over those needs is a want. This means budgeting your expenses begins with emotional control. As your life has an overhead, so does your career. And when you have a career in entertainment, usually not always, but usually your living overhead and career overhead will be combined. It just is what it is. When and where you should be spending money could potentially become the deciding factor on survival. Did you know a strong budget will help you take back control over spending money so you can afford your life? Now, I want you to keep in mind the process to success, longevity, and your purpose all absolutely have variables. Take what I teach you here in this video and the following series with a sense of integrity and intrigue. Take notes. Then do your due diligence. Research. Because we love breaking down a complicated process and simplifying it for you. This gives us a chance to show you what we learned from other successful entertainers and, their triangle life. What is the best advice you've received to budget your money? I would love to know in the comments below. Breaking down an average monthly overhead is going to be a process. Common misconception is that a budget is based on how much money a person earns, whereas it is the opposite. A strong budget will organize spending to create proper caps for existing expenses. If you make $0 or $1 million, you still need to create a budget to take control back over your own money. A budget and budgeting are different. A budget, as we define it, is a list of expenses and their caps. Budgeting, as we define it, is keeping to those caps and also recording all expenses into that budget. Create habits to record expenses into a phone app, a small book you carry around, or even into a spreadsheet. Honing this skill is going to be worth it. Knowing what to cap or how to adjust those caps to fit into your basic needs is life-changing. Sacrifice your wants now so you can reward yourself later. Think about what you want over your true needs. When you have an idea of what your needs are, you can block want expenses. When you have caps set for your needs, it'll give you direction to say no as your caps are reached. As you develop skills to budget in real time, adjusting caps on the fly will be easy. Look, as your career grows, more options to increase those budget caps will be rewarded. Allow your growing finances a chance to dictate when or where a cap may grow. Even when and where you can add additional expenses you didn't have before. Because you got to take control of your money so it doesn't control you. Do this by having money organized in the bank, which allows you freedoms to adjust your caps as needed. Once you have a strong safety net, you will see how the power of managing your money properly gives you choices. A safety net is a bank account dedicated to paying your overhead expenses. Within this account, you should have between 3 to 18 months of your average monthly overhead covered. You want to charge everything to this account. It helps keep track of, your expenses and your account. An overhead is the ongoing operating expenses necessary to running a business or sustaining personal life. An average monthly overhead is the value of a total 12-month year divided evenly by those 12 months. Get PDFs, at your bank of your bank statements to create columns, caps, and overall categories and their expenses accrued over the last, say, 12-month period. Your operating expenses may include personal and business expenses, especially in the beginning of your career. There will be costs that influence both aspects of your life as you grow your career. For example, traveling expenses are going to be a part of your personal and business overheads. Lunches for the day to meet up with people can be added on. Even your cell phone is used for both business and personal. You get to determine what is a need versus a want when figuring out your average monthly overhead. The categories will show you where your expenses are being sucked out of, and also there is a chance you'll notice you spend way more money than you expected on, eating out. Maybe your weekend plans total an insane amount of expense. I actually had a client once show me they were spending over $800 a month on weekends. There are two major caps you should figure out with a budget. The first is your overall monthly budget goal. How much money do you want to spend per month, etc., etc. The second cap is with individual categories. With certain categories in a budget, you can decrease how much you want to spend. In some cases, you can increase the cap. The idea is to make definitive choices when designing your overhead budget. To figure out your proper average monthly overhead, simply have your bank print out the last 12 months of bank statements, or you could just do it from your computer, creating the PDFs. Then you're going to break down each expense into its own created category column. I do recommend opening a new blank spreadsheet file. This will help you set up spreadsheet coding to do all the adding up for you, especially if you don't have a calculator. It saves time too. Time management, very important in the long run, at least.
Figuring out your bank statement and organizing what goes where is fairly easy. You simply have to take what is on your bank statement and allow that to dictate the columns and basically dates, and ultimately over the course of, say, 3 to 12 months of organizing your bills, you can figure out the average monthly overhead for each one. As you can see, here is a bank statement, right? A very basic generic one, and we're going to just allow the items on the bank statement to literally dictate costs. So here we have on 115 POS purchase overnight prints, all right, $36.70. So we just go here, we just simply, as it is, we go, all right, we want the date, okay, what was the item, all right, cost, okay. I like to do the item. So in this situation, if we look at that, overnight prints, right? I would say that's going to be probably office, right? Or even, you could even do it marketing, right? Marketing, just marketing is fine. Or marketing material, right? So there you go. Okay. And then now we mark the date. So the date is 1/15, 2015, right? And then the item is overnight prints, okay? Now, if you want, you could do this. I would probably do this. You go, what is it for, right? Purpose, okay? Purpose. And what I would do is, for me, this would probably be like business expense, right? Okay, so maybe this is for my band, so I might say band. Oh, okay, very simple. Now this, and this, I would definitely center like that. Okay, and the cost was $36.70. Write that in, $36.70. Okay, you might want to edit you gotta edit the form, right? Format here. Let's see, numbers, currency. Look at that. Okay, but this is obviously negative, right? Because it's an expense, right? Okay. Now this would get confusing. So how do we have the categories? So I created the categories. So what I would do is I would do that. Okay, marketing marketing material, right? Material. Okay, and I would just get rid of this column. Now, why do I do that? Because I have this column to dictate what it is. Now, at the same time, you want to add it up, right? But we'll do that last. Okay, we'll do that last. Let's just go to the next item. Next item is pizza. All right. So $9.75. All right. Oh, what day is this? Is very basic stuff, right? 0114. The date is 0114. Okay, and that's pizza. So we say crispy pizza. Right? We'll just say pizza. We'll just say pizza. All right. So it's 01/14/2015 pizza. All right. I'm writing on a keyboard that's sideways. All right. The purpose. Now, there's a couple things we could say here. We could say personal, right? We could say personal, right? I eat a lot of pizza. What if I ate the pizza with my bandmates for lunch? Well, then that becomes a band expense. What if I meet people for a meeting to discuss the band? That's a band expense. So right now, just for the fun of it, we're going to say band because it's a band expense, and it was $9.75. But we created a new column. Now, we're not going to call this column pizza, but we will call it food out. And the reason this is so I don't have to deal with coding again. So food out. Boom. Right? And then we put that there. $9.75. Then we go to the next one. Transfer. So this is money in, right? That reminds me. So money in. Let's say there's money in. Let's just say the date is just right. Now how is that money in? Maybe whatever the case may be. Let's say performance. Okay, performance. Right? This is obviously band. Right? Now, whenever there's money in, I like to actually place that as close to the front as possible. And how do we make this money? We said performance. So this would go under performance. Just performance, okay? But in this item, you could put in, maybe I played downtown. The downtown, right? Which might be a club or whatever, and it's definitely a performance. And then I put in how much I made instead of $100, right? Boom, $100. Oh, this is $250. All right, so we made $250 for this show. Okay, that's how we organize. Okay, then we go to the next one. Oh, you got to pay your bill. You got to pay your bill sometimes, right? So now, right, and then we're gonna say cell phone. Okay. And I need my cell phone to do business, right? But let's just, so we have some variety. Personal, okay? Oh, it's personal. It's personal. How personal? Very personal. Now, I literally consider that a utility. Utilities, okay? All utilities, all right? How much is it? Oh, it was $100. Okay, next one. It's another. All right, let's say we made some more money. Let's say we played All Aboard Pub. Okay, and it's my band, and we made $72.52, right? $72.52. All right, and then we paid 1-1, right? So let's just say that's a website, right? Web hosting space. Okay, now this is definitely for the band. This is band, right? And we know that it's an expense. Okay, we pop that right there. All right, we know it's a band. So this is web hosting space. I personally would put this just under website, right? So anything that has to do with, so your URLs, your hosting, stuff like, okay, 11988. All right. Oh, stand-up comedy. All right, so there was food purchased at the stand-up comedy clubs, okay? So there's two expenses, okay? They're both at the same thing. So let's do that, right? 0112 and 0112, same night, right? And you got two things. You got stand-up comedy, right? And we know now, this is interesting, right? So this is a different profession. So now I have the band, I have personal, and I have comedy, right? So, or you could even say comedian, right? Because You could be a comedian, right? And you have 2 expenses. This is food out, right? 5,762. All right, and you see how I'm just making the columns and they're creating. Let's say we got paid for that comedy show. Okay, so you would write whatever it is, stand up comedy, right? Comedian. Okay, and it's a performance, right? And I made $250. Boom. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. 215. 7-Eleven store. This is. I like to do all capital letters. That's just me. Okay, this would probably be personal, right? This is food out. See how much? 482. There it is. All right, so that's good enough for now. All right, now let me show you. We got to figure out the total price, right?
Hello.
Now we got to create the sum account. The sum account. All right, so once this is just the basic quick thing I just put together, all right? But now I need to figure out the totals of each group. So what I would do is I would have to go up here and I'd have to write the thing. It's you would do equal sign, right? Look at that, pops right back up. Okay, then you would write sum and then the thing. So this would be A, B, C, D. This would be D. I would do D2. Okay, and then we want all of it. So the D, let's just say 100 for now. If we have to increase that, we will. Right now, it's gonna say $572, and I want that in all this. Right now, I realize, wait a minute, this isn't the average, right? This isn't my average. What you would do is, let's say, if this was for 3 months, you would add this at the end. You would go like this. You divide it by 3, and that would show you what your average 3-month overhead would be. Now, clearly, I'm not doing a full 3 months on this, but this is how you would do it. All right, and then I would need that here, so I have to replace this, right? So it's boop, 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 boop. And then I like to so this is green in, so I like to make the color. Let's do it like green, boop. And then these are not, but I also like to split up the columns so I could see them clearly. So I can see clearly now. Or you could just do it all. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy. All right. And then I like to do this all black like that, and then change the color to white. Ooh, look at that. Okay. And then personally, I like to use Open Office. My open, it's Open Sans. Open Sans, okay, at 10. There you go. There you go. And that's how you do it, okay. And if you want, you could do your columns, right? You could do your column. Whoop. No, cancel. I don't want to merge. I want to do columns. All right. But I might do columns like this. I might go boop, boop. I might just make them long like that, right? But you could do whatever you want. You could even, if you really wanted to go crazy, you just do this. Look, now there's columns there. Boom, done. Right? And then if you want to be able to read it, it doesn't really matter, because in the end, what this is used for is ultimately so you can read. You can just put it together and figure it out what you want. Now, once you have these numbers, okay, you could say to yourself, well, on average, I'm spending $190 a month, right? Obviously, I'm earning $190. The food out, this would probably be, on average, maybe $200 or $300. And if the weekends, it might be more. Now you want to say to yourself, I got to cap that, and ultimately that's what you got to do. You got to cap it, and this is what it allows us to see, right? I mean, just right now, look, this is not even. It's less than a week, and it's already $30. And I'm not even doing the full bank statement. So $30. What's 30 times 4? That's so that's 120. That's also a car. It's $120, and that's not even doing the whole thing. That's just assuming that I'm going to spend $30 in a week. But this is a light week, right? And the more you play out, the more you're going to eat, things like that. The utility, the website stuff, over the course of a year might end up being $300. And you have to figure out, all right, is that within my budget? You know, it's part of the business, so I have to do that. My utilities itself, am I spending too much on my cell phone? Can I bring my cell phone down? Can I bring down my other bills? Maybe I shouldn't have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and all these other platforms. Maybe I should figure out where I need to cut because my utility bill on average is too high per month. And as far as what you bring in, this doesn't necessarily influence your budget in the sense of like, well, I can't budget because I don't make enough money. Well, that means you have to budget because you don't make enough money. Right now, if I look at this, this is some, let's see, that's E1 to H1, right? So right now, imagine, if you will, imagine, let me make that nice. Imagine 100, this is what I made on average a month, right? I mean, I made $190, but my expenses are $112. I'm using arbitrary numbers. I would have to say to myself, well, the difference between this and that is not that much. I want to start saving more money, and that's really what the income is for. Is you can say, all right, this is what I'm making against my budget. I know I want to make more than my budget, because again, the secret to wealth growth is spend less than you save, right? So that's a secret. Now that's how you kind of figure out a very simplified budget. You let the charges dictate the columns, and then you make sure that you divide the total number in that column by how many total months you added up for those columns. So if it's 3 months, it'd be 3. If it's 6 months, it's 6. If it's 12 months, it's apples. All right, that's it.
Most essential expenses are going to be what they are, even with slight fluctuations. Utilities stay about the same, and those are need expenses you really have to pay, or they kind of turn off your lights. It's weird. Certain expenses like food out can be cut down. Limit eating food out. It's that easy. Buy groceries to control your expenses. If you pay $5 for breakfast 5 days a week, that's $25 a week. It says here on the script. Bread, eggs, and cheese might cost $10 altogether. I don't know. Other cuts you can make are expenses to go out. Your career in the beginning needs you to sacrifice. These sacrifices allow your money to be invested into building your career. Take out or limited want needs beats down emotional impulses. Build stronger budgeting habits to take back control over your money. You can physically see what your average monthly overhead is when you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now work on bringing it down. Also finalize what has to be spent. For unneeded expenses, take control over your finances by cutting them out. Doing this leads to expanding those caps, creating columns for categories you have a want for. The best rule for increasing your overhead is to figure out what a strong foundational goal is. If you reach that goal, you can increase your average monthly overhead by doing this. You will lower your overall foundation. How so? Let's say a current average monthly overhead of $1,000 would make a foundation goal of 18 months, $18,000. If that amount is your safety net bank account, increase your overhead. Go from $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month. Now your foundation goal is $36,000. That foundation is safe with $18,000 covering 9 months of your average monthly overhead. Hit $36,000 and you've earned the right to increase it again. Money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. Ayn Rand. Who really benefits from budgeting in the end? Oh, it's you. That's right. Your goal is to take back control through limitations created by sacrifice. Some of the greatest success stories began living poorly before turning their life into opportunity. Even in their wealth, they still organize their foundations to maintain longevity, purpose, and their success. It's not about what you own at first, but who you are earning it for. What benefits outweigh spending recklessly could never be compared. They just cannot. Having that kind of control over your money will give you choice to move through a career that choice is to say yes or no to opportunities because you want to, not because you have to so your bills get paid. What you're working towards is never feeling like you are working to do what you do passionately. When you know, you'll know. That's a fact. Your budget is fickle at best. If you are not paying attention to it, it will take its own control over you. It can get out of hand in the beginning. Once you have a handle on it, though, you will know by seeing yourself worrying less about spending money and more about making choices in life. The greater your safety net and how you can afford your monthly coverage, the wealthier you are overall. Wealth of time and money equals choice. Where you take your budget is in your hands. Eventually, your budget will be a self-working animal. A day will come when you have a safety net of 4 years saved up, which is a lot of money. This is something of a financial beast living off of growth. You'll most likely have money invested into assets, fueling your overall growing safety net to give your earnings from opportunities a chance to be organized back into the financial beast. Why should anyone sacrifice now when they want to buy things? Well, you might be able to afford a new car, but now what? Money spent is money gone. A car is a liability. Gas, upkeep, payments, insurance, little things like that, If you save that money to organize it into your growth need assets, it would afford you a car beyond your overhead, would it not? This is why we think of ways to make money work for us instead of us working for money. How someone goes from being out of control with spending to wealth is indeed a process. It takes dedication, sacrifice, habit-changing effort, and of course, willpower. You must choose to make a change. In the end, it is always about you taking action. Yes, success is not about you, it's all about all the people around you, but without you being proactive, none of it will come together. Be the action and baby steps, if needed, to get started. Listen, when you have that kind of freedom, the kind that comes from having the money in the bank, a lot of stress vanishes. To think an opportunity comes up, but you can't take it because you have a day job, or that opportunity does not pay enough to afford you to miss better paying gigs. But that opportunity comes with a potential for a step forward in your career because you can work with the right person. A career is based on choices. Can you make the choice confidently, or are you making choices on making money? Money never brings happiness. That is a true fact. Money controlling you will bring stress. To break the cycle, you need to take control over your month and get it working for you. Make career choices based on the 3 needs of success: network, market, and practice. If you have the financial freedom to network, to build and cultivate those relationships, then you'll know the right person. If you design a brand for people to buy into emotionally through seeing your actions, proving its message, then the right person will know you. If you have the time to practice on elevating your strengths and weaknesses, then you will know yourself the best. Take back time. If you're new here and got this far, please subscribe for future content. What you learned today is only as useful as what you do with it tomorrow. So research, research, research. I absolutely, without a doubt, appreciate any and all supporting love for this channel. So if you have questions, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I am Thomas J. Beleza. Thanks for writing that earlier. By the way, the best way for success is with a team. So work together, grow together, and rise together to bring reality to your dreams. By the way, this voice comes for $10.99 in a box from Amazon. Good night!
Oh dear.